We come to you, Lord, with humble hearts and open minds. Cast away all our burdens and make us worthy at your presence. And we thank you, Lord, for guiding us to come here. We thank you for all the protection that you gave us. And also, we thank you for all the blessings that you are always giving us. And we commit to you, Lord, our pastor. Give us wisdom and knowledge. And continue to bless him. And always the instrument for all us all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay. So again, good afternoon to each and everyone. We are now in the second part. For the benefit of our sister Sandra, we have a month-long theme that we call the spiritual warfare for the month of September. And we are discussing the whole armor of God. So we are now on the second part.
Sunday, Sunday.
We are now on the second part of our topic. So, we have already read our text in the book of Ephesians 16, Ephesians 6, verses 16 to 20. So, it's all about the full armor of God. So, we will go to discuss the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. So, let's all bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the gift of life. And we thank you for the freedom and the privilege to worship you in this place. Speak to us, guide us, help us to stand firm all the time. This is our prayer in the mighty name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Di ba nagana? Tinesting ko ito kanina.
Baka hindi nakaharap, bro. Sa harap ka.
We discuss the first three part. No? I have told you that the full armor of God is divided into two sets of trees. No? Bali, there are six pieces of armor, so we divide it into two sets of trees. So as a sort of recap, last Sunday we discussed the belt of truth. Maybe it's better to come down. Right? The breastplate of righteousness and the feet or the boots of the gospel for our protection. So, as you can see here, to be in the state. So, as Christians, we must always be in the state of the truth, in the state of righteousness, and in our stability for the gospel, our know-how of the gospel. So, right now, we're gonna discuss the shield of faith. Okay. Shields. Shields. Are we familiar with the shield? In Tagalog, what is it in Tagalog? Kalasan, panangga. No? In English, shield. Shield were very important in the Roman soldier. Yung picture, as we saw it earlier in the picture, the analogy of the full armor of God is were described as a Roman soldier. So yun yung analogy natin, the Roman soldier. So the shield, there were several kinds. No? There are several kinds of shields. As we can see in the picture, there are three types. But as you can see, there are two types of shield that is commonly used in the Roman soldier in the ancient time of our Lord Jesus Christ. And that is the scutum and the parma. So, when the Roman soldier got into battle, let's say on hand-to-hand combat, close encounter, they use the parma. Usually it is made of piece of iron or wooden part. But to explain it much simpler, it is used for hand-to-hand combat. So it is small, maybe like this, in diameter 36 inches. So, and that's scutum. So our discussion today, we will talk about the scutum. No? Tama ba yung pronunciation ko? Scutum.
Sure.
It's difficult to pronounce. It's scutum. Parma, if you know, Santa Parma, we have a city in Italy called Parma. So, it is very Italian. Parma, okay. So, what is the use of the shield? In verse 16, in all circumstances, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one. As you can see in the slideshow, what are the flaming darts? No? we can see that the flaming dart is despair, doubts, lies. So it is the flaming arrows of the enemies. As you can see, there are flames. And according to history, the scrotum, as I told you earlier, the parma is made up of wooden shields and sometimes made of iron. But the scrotum, because when you use iron, and you can imagine using iron as a shield and it caught on fire, it will become very hot. No? It will become very hot. But the scrotum, it is made up of leather. There's a leather coating, so it will deflect the fire. So it is a practice of the Roman soldier that the scrotum they use is coated with leather. So it will deflect fire. It will not be burned. Okay. This is the testudo formation. Testudo. Are you familiar with the word testudo? Testudo. Testudo is a Latin word for tortoise. Are you familiar with tortoise? Teenage Ninja Tortoise. No. Tortoise is this. Okay. So turtles spend most of their time in the water, so they have fins. While tortoise, as you can see, they spend most of the time in land. So the difference is the turtle have fins, and as you can see here, they have much greater feet, no? Larger feet. Okay. So tortoise. I have said that testudo is a Latin word for tortoise. So they are, let's say, in a resemblance with the shell of the turtle. So, as you can see, it is well protected when the enemy attack, the frontal attack and the aerial attack, it is well covered. So, that is the testudo formation. So, even the enemy will strike the arrow with flames, it will not get burned because it is made of leather. Okay, so you understand the testudo formation. So, brothers and sisters, why are we discussing the testudo formation? We are told that believers need a shield. The shield is not made up of iron or leather, but the shield we have told is the faith. The faith. Paul refers it to the faith that it is not a body of Christian belief. When you say a body of Christian belief, it is not pertaining to religion. The faith that Paul is talking about is not pertaining to religion. It is not pertaining to the doctrines that we believe. He is referring, in simple word, the faith in God. This faith refers to the belief that we have in Jesus Christ, faith that brings salvation. We must always remember that true faith will always bring salvation. It also speaks in our daily faith in Jesus that leads us to blessing, in our daily provisions and strength for the journey. The kind of faith is simple faith in Jesus, simple trust in the Lord that saves us, grounds us, strengthens us, calms us, grows us, establishes us. Brothers and sisters, faith is non-negotiable. As we are told in Italian language, it is obligatorio. Obligatory. Faith is non-negotiable and it is obligatory component of our Christian life. We cannot be saved apart from faith. As Ephesians 2 verses 8 to 9 said, "For by grace are ye saved, through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God, not of your works, lest any man should boast." And the Bible also said that it is impossible to please God without faith. It is impossible to please God without faith. Brothers and sisters, in our daily lives, in everyday lives, imagine you are sitting there right now. Without faith of the chair, will you sit on it? Without faith, will you sit on that chair? Without faith on the buses, will you go to the buses? Do you go on places, no? Using the buses, our automobiles, ships? If we don't trust those vehicles, faith in Jesus is far and above the everyday faith we have practiced. When our faith in Jesus Christ and God the Father, our faith is in someone who cannot fail. God will never fail us. We need to be sure that our faith is in the Lord. The gospel will save the souls of all who trust in its message. The problem is, in the Christian life and the people around us, they always told us that I believe in God, I believe in the church. But the problem is, you cannot see the manifestation of that belief in their lives. They don't obey, they don't trust in God. So, the Lord will be a Father to all who reach out to Him in faith. We cannot reach God without faith, remember that, brothers and sisters. And God will not force us if we don't want to. So without faith, we cannot reach God. The faith of a believer in God is never misplaced. But our faith in Him is essential if we want to succeed in our walk with Him. And if we want to seek the defeat of the enemy, if we want to be victorious, we must have the shield of faith. It is necessary to provide us with our connection to the Lord. It is also necessary because it protects us from the enemy who desires to slay us. And that formation, brothers and sisters, will also remind us that we, as Christians, we cannot stand alone. We are very vulnerable in the attacks of the enemy if we are all alone. As you can see there, the Roman, the testudo formation is always based on the 16 person, 16 soldiers. So 8 and 8. No? 8 on the front and 8 on the top. So they are always in the 16 person. No? 16 person. Tama ba ako? Brothers and sisters, we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We need to protect one another. We need the presence and the fellowship of one another. No? There's, I don't know if in Zimbabwe, the saying is very much popular because in the Philippines, we always quote, no man is an island. We always quote that. Even in your place. Okay. So, even in our spiritual growth, brothers and sisters, we cannot grow alone. We cannot do it alone. We cannot grow alone. So we need each other. And the next one is the helmet. The helmet of the helmet of salvation. Okay. Magjo-joke muna ako ng Tagalog. It's hard to tell a joke in English. You will not laugh.
Daddy, translate na lang, Daddy.
Di ba meron tayong kasabihan na pag meron tayong mga girlfriend, boyfriend, suotan mo ng helmet. Ha? Narinig niyo na yan? Uy, suotan mo siya ng helmet. Baka matauhan yan. Di ba? Kayo na lang mag-class na the point is, mga kapatid, pinoprotektahan natin yung ulo. That is the most, sabihin natin, weakest part of our body. No? Yung ulo natin, our head. The helmet worn by the ancient soldier was the utmost important. Helmet was either made of thick leather, covered by plates of metal, or it was made of solid metal that was beaten into the shape of a human head. So nakita nyo, metal sheet yan. So the top part, yun yan binitin. Beaten to form the iron in the shape of a human head. No? Most ancient helmet had metal extension that cover the cheeks. So nakita niyo yan, as you can see there, meron siyang piece of metal that will protect also the cheek, yung pisngi. No? Kasi syempre, in the battle, kailangan ng protection. So, minsan, natatamaan niya ng pana, natatamaan ng espada, pinoprotektahan din yung pisngi. Our text says that the spiritual helmet, we are to wear our spiritual helmet of salvation. This indicates that Satan's blows are aimed at our minds. Satan blows are aimed into our minds. Kilala niyo si Magneto? Sino nakakilala kay Magneto? Yung X-Men. Are you familiar with, do you know Magneto? Nakita niyo, he's wearing a helmet. Bakit kamo? Kasi si Professor Xavier, he can enter the mind of anyone. But with that helmet, Magneto, he is protected with the helmet. So, Professor X cannot control his mind. Same thing, brothers and sisters. If we have the helmet of salvation in our mind, the blows and aims of Satan, no? His tricks, his deception, his lies, will not penetrate. If the devil can strike a blow against us that causes us to become discouraged and filled with doubt, he will have no doubt taking us out of the battle. Kapag nakontrol ng kalaban ang ating mga isip, madali na natin tayong susuko sa laban, mga kapatid. If we are not properly protected, the devil will use the sword of discouragement to defeat us in our walk with the Lord. He will cause us to look at our sins, our failures, the problems in our lives, our health issues, and any other negative situation we face in life. When He get our attention out of the Lord. Remember this, brothers and sisters, we must always be focused on God. When the enemy caught us unattentive, he will get our attention off the Lord. And all the negative issues we face in life, He knows we will begin to doubt the Heavenly Father's love and care for us. And that is the aim of the enemy. To doubt the Heavenly Father's love and care for us. Even those who have been in the battle. You're telling me, Pastor, I've been a Christian all my life. I've been a Christian for as long as I can remember. But I'm telling you this, brothers and sisters, even those who have been in the battle for so long and have enjoyed much spiritual success can find themselves the victims of discouragement and delusionment. So, be sure to put the helmet of salvation in place. and refuse to allow Satan to focus your attention on the events of life or by the action of other people. If he can get your eyes off the Lord on the difficulties of life, you will be an easy prey. It is not easy to be a Christian, and it is hard to be discouraged when it seems like everything in life goes against you. It's easy to be discouraged when our prayers are delayed and even unanswered. It is easy to be discouraged when even I, as a preacher, the preaching, the teaching, and the witnessing seems ineffective. So do not be discouraged. Let us not be discouraged. Satan knows this and exploits these weaknesses in our lives. When we are discouraged by the events of life, we must never forget that our Father always has our situation well in hand. We can trust in our Lord, we can trust in God to do what is right all the time. When we doubt salvation, we will be discouraged. When we come to doubt God's faithfulness, we are easily discouraged. When we come to doubt the Word of God, the foundation of our hope is like a sinking sand. If Satan can convince us that you are not really saved, is anyone here in this church are sure that you are saved? Are you saved? Are you saved? Remember that the enemy is always questioning our salvation. If Satan can convince you that you are not really saved, or that somehow you have lost your salvation, you will be devastated spiritually. Such doubt, brothers and sisters, can paralyze the believer and make them unproductive and miserable. Nothing more quickly sidelines the child of God than having their peace and security in Jesus strip away. Bakit natin sinabi, mga kapatid, sideline? We do not use backsliding. Because we believe that once you became a Christian, once you became a child of God, there is no turning back. Amen?
Amen.
There is no turning back. Sidelining means sometimes we cannot maintain our spirituality. Sometimes we become cold. Even though most of the time in our lives we pursue to know God more. We want to be at all times hot in our faith. But time and disappointments, discouragement test us. And it sidelines us in our walk with God. When we forget this truth, John 14:27 told us, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give with you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid." The peace that we have, the assurance that we have, is that we are in God's hand. We are in God's hand. If Satan has been beating you with a sword, let us be reminded that in Jesus we have security. That in Jesus we have security. The sword of the Spirit. The sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Have you noticed that all of the armor of God were used in the protection? No, the breastplate, the helmet, the boots. But God has given us the weapon for offense. No? Lahat defense eh. No? Lahat protection. But God gave us this weapon for offense. We can also attack. Minsan sa buhay natin, sangga lang tayo ng sangga. No? Protection lang tayo ng protection, hindi tayo lumalaban mga kapatid. But the truth is, God gave us a weapon to attack. Not only to defend ourselves, but also to attack. The sword Paul has in mind is not a physical sword. Paul identifies this sword as the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Does everyone bring their Bibles? Does everyone here bring their Bibles? As a pastor of this church, and hindi ako nagkulang, lagi ko kayong sinasabihan to bring your Bibles. Always remember that the Bible in your cell phone is not a holy Bible. It is just a piece of information if it is in our cell phone. It is not holy because your cell phone is not holy. So mga kapatid, I always encourage us to bring their Bibles. Because as a soldier, no, if it is our weapon, you're going to war without a weapon. So the chances of surviving, 100% magsusurvive, 100% patay. So mga kapatid, as Paul said, it is our weapon, the Word. So this sword is a spiritual weapon that is to be used by the believer in our spiritual conflict to Satan. The spiritual sword of the Spirit refers to its origin. This reminds us that the Bible is not a man-made book. Many unbelievers is telling us that, it's just a piece of book. It is just a man-made book. But the reality, brothers and sisters, the Bible is a spiritual book that came to us from the Spirit of God. 2 Timothy 3:16 to 17 says, all Scripture is God-breathed. When we talk about God-breathed, remember that when God created man, He breathed on them. Hiningahan. So, this means that the breath of God means life. So, and it is used for teaching, rebuking, correcting, and training in righteousness. So the servant of God may truly equip for every good work. I would like to remind you today, brothers and sisters, that the Bible is not an ordinary book. Hindi ito pangkaraniwang libro lamang, mga kapatid. It is a Word of God. The Bible is inspired by God. It is infallible and it is inherent. Pag sinabi mong infallible, wala itong pagkakamali. Hindi ito magkukulang. And it can be trusted. It can be believed. The Bible is a book to be read, believed, loved, shared, enjoyed, and trusted. It is the Word of God. We must in the glories it contains. There is no other book in the world like the Bible, brothers and sisters. Many books will teach us to do many things. Many books can also encourage us to be a better person. But the Bible alone can change you to what God wants you to become. Amen?
Amen.
Only the Bible can change you on what God wants you to become. Again, brothers and sisters, life is not easy. And life as a Christian is a battlefield. We must remember that the enemy is at large, waiting for us to be debarred like a roaring lion. There will be many temptations that we are going to face in our lives. And we cannot do it alone. And we are weak in our very nature as human beings. And only through Jesus we can be victorious by putting His full armor, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the boots of the gospel, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. And brothers and sisters, all these things only mean one thing. All that armor only mean one thing. That we must put Jesus Christ in our life. We must put Jesus Christ in our lives. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.